In this week's weekly Whiteboard Wisdom, I'm going to talk about structuring your business for growth. And one of the challenges when people start a business off, they don't often think about how to make sure their business is structured so they can leverage off of what they've built, the foundation, and be able to build something bigger that then doesn't rely on them. I see too many people building a business where the business relies on the business owner having to work in the business to make it a success. And unfortunately, that's one of the biggest mistakes I see people in business making, is that instead of building the business so it doesn't rely on them, they make it so it does rely on them. And I know some people will say to me, hey Ben, but the reason my business is so successful, or because my clients deal with me, is because of me as an individual, or what it is I do, or my skills. I believe that's actually a mistake. If you want to build a business that does not rely on you, you have to structure in such a way that it doesn't depend on your skills. Instead, the business relies on the business structure to be able to serve the customers and in turn serve you. And so there's a few key things that we need to understand if we're going to structure our business for growth. So I want to start by drawing up a bit of an org chart. And I want to do it in such a way that, you're familiar with an organisational chart, no doubt about that. But I want you to think about it in a different way, because too many people, when they think about their business, they think about themselves as one entity. And what I want to do is I want you to think about yourself as a separate entity to yourself as an employee. It's extremely important to think about yourself as the investor or the business owner, and then your role as the manager within your business, or CEO, or whatever it is you want to call yourself. So it's actually two separate roles. And the reason I like to separate those two things is because at some point your business should be structured in such a way that you can hire a manager, and you remain, of course, as the owner or the investor, and you get dividends and profitability from your business. Now, the manager has the job of managing 4 key areas of the business to make sure the business is a success. And so underneath the manager, I like to draw these 4, what I call machines in the business. And this is how we structure a business, so that we've got the ability to, over time, hire people to run each of the machines. Machine number 1 is what we call the lead generation machine, or the marketing machine, or whatever you want to call it. This machine is responsible, if you can think about a funnel, I'm sure you've all seen a marketing funnel before, is responsible for getting leads in, spitting out those that don't qualify, so the DNQs, and sending those that do qualify across to the next machine, which is what I like to call the conversion rate machine, or the sales machine. And that's the machine that then takes the qualified leads and has to turn them into a client. Same thing though, some will spit out the bottom because they did not qualify. Those that do qualify end up becoming a customer, and they go across into the next machine, which we're going to call the client fulfillment machine, or what's traditionally known in the business as operations. But here we're going to call it client fulfillment. So it's about making sure that the client gets what it is they've paid for, they get great service, and they're happy. And then what happens is that machine fulfills the final machine, which is the business machine. And the business machine is the machine to make sure that your business is systemized, it's effective, it's efficient, and it's profitable. So if you think about structuring your business for growth, you've got yourself as a manager, looking after then these 4 machines. And those 4 machines now, you can hire people to manage those. So you end up with a lead generation manager, a conversion rate manager, a client fulfillment manager, and a business manager. So as your business grows now, you can now replace yourself in each of those key areas of your business and have somebody else take care of those roles for you, still reporting to you as the manager. And then at some time, you can then quit as the manager, and then you can just be the investor up top and have somebody else managing those 4 machines for you. And that's the best way to think about structuring a business for growth. Now, the good thing about this is that once you do this, and why this works so well, is that you can now set KPIs for each machine, and they can be based on your goals as the owner. So what you think about is you say, what are my goals, or what do I want to get out of this business as an outcome, and then decide what does each machine have to do to deliver those results. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that you say, I want to be paid, $200,000 per year as the owner. So that would be in dividends or in profitability. It wouldn't be in salary, right? So this is after you pay your manager or pay yourself as a manager. If you knew that that's what you wanted to earn out of your business in profit, then you can start to work out, okay, what does my business need to do? So let's say your business operated on a 20% margin. Well, you know that you'd need $1 million in sales, and you need a 20% net profit margin. and that way you would know that you would achieve $200,000 in profitability or in dividends. And so this is how you structure your business for growth. Now, I wanted to let you know about an upcoming webinar that I've got coming where I'm going to take you through the 5 stages of business growth. This is part of stage 1 of business growth. It's getting the structure right. There's 4 other areas in stage 1. And what I've done is I've developed a business acceleration blueprint with my partner David, and we've come up with a 5-stage process or 5-stage plan that every business goes through when it grows. And I'm running a webinar that I invite you to come to, and you can go to maxmyprofit.com.au/5 stages. You'll see it in the link below this video, around this video somewhere. Click on that link, it'll give you the dates. Register yourself in. Even if you can't make it to the actual webinar, I encourage you to reserve your spot because there's a good chance that we'll have a replay sent out or an encore if we have a lot of people register. We are limited on our webinar account where we can only hold 100 people, so you can only get 100 people into our webinar room. And last time we had in excess of 200 people trying to get into my last webinar, so make sure that if you are going to register and you want to turn up, you get in early, and that way you can make sure you reserve your seat.